Her grandson is not a killer.
Cooper died in a one-car accident in Westmoreland County. Police say 21-year-old Clifford Job III of Salem Township lost control of his car early yesterday morning along Route 819 in Hempfield Township. Police say Job was not wearing a seatbelt. His father, Clifford Job Jr., is a sergeant who's been with the state police for nearly 40 years.
Under a new set of guidelines to take effect Sunday, medical helicopters in Pennsylvania will now take patients to the closest trauma center. Officials changed the rules after a 13-year-old boy from Bedford County died on his way to Children's Hospital here in Pittsburgh. The helicopter bypassed a closer trauma center in Johnstown. Medical helicopters are often associated with a particular hospital and take patients to that hospital even if another trauma center is closer.
Passenger traffic continues to decline at Arnold Palmer Regional Airport. Less than 10,500 commuter passengers flew out of the airport in Westmoreland County last year. That's down from 25,000 passengers just 6 years ago. Airport officials say the numbers are down because U.S. Airways Express, the only commercial carrier that serves the airport, has cut its flight from 9 to 4 days. Pennsylvania lawmakers are driving around in Ford Explorers, Chevy Trailblazers, even Lincoln and Mercedes-Benz, and you're paying for it. A new survey shows that only Pennsylvania and California provide state lawmakers with vehicles paid for by taxpayers. House members are given a car allowance of up to $650 a month, while senators can charge up to $600 a month. Some lawmakers say it's cheaper to have the state pay for a lease than it would be to pay them gas mileage.
A former student has left Pitt's Law School a major gift. The donor is a 1942 graduate who died last summer. He left the law school more than $4 million. However, there is a condition attached. None of the money can ever be used to support an athletic program.
The Snow and Ice team is tracking 2 winter storms. Meteorologist Jeff Rosella will tell you what to expect this evening and tell you about more snow tomorrow. That's coming up. Then a day of sledding ended in a tragedy when a Butler County little boy hit a tree. A live report, that's next. And a local woman is a hero to animal lovers everywhere. Find out how she rescued some ducks from an icy pond.
Tonight on CBS, what diet works best for people over the age of 55? You might be surprised to learn what new research says older Americans can and should be eating. Tonight's CBS Evening News.
TV's 2 biggest events are on CBS Super Sunday. First, the world will be watching when Tom Brady and the New England Patriots take on Jake Delhomme and the Carolina Panthers in Super Bowl 38. Then, after the game, the favorite castaways of all time will compete in the ultimate showdown. Survivor All-Stars. It's go time. Who will outwit, outplay, and outlast the best of the best? Yeah! It all begins Sunday, only on CBS.
The more you discover about the Hyundai Elantra, the more it makes sense. It's loaded with standard features like AC and power everything. Plus, only Hyundai has America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. It's $1,600 less than a Honda Civic LX when comparably equipped. In fact, the 2004 Hyundai Elantra starts at just $13,139. When your car makes this much sense, you win. Get a 2004 Hyundai Elantra with up to $2,000 cash back or 0% APR.
Good afternoon from CBS News. This is Newsbreak. On the eve of the New Hampshire primary, Democrats scramble to whittle John Kerry's perceived lead. A big storm could affect tomorrow's turnout. Winter storms in the South, Midwest, and heading east have left at least 25 people dead. The Supreme Court will revisit the death penalty for juveniles who kill. Lionel Tate, age 12, when he killed a 6-year-old girl, was ordered freed from jail in Florida. His life sentence recently thrown out. And a jury of 8 women and 4 men is set to hear the Martha Stewart trial. Now this.
Oh.
What's the matter, Frank?
Why'd I eat that pizza?
You love pizza.
I knew I'd get heartburn.
Didn't you start taking Prilosec?
Yeah, but it can take 1 to 4 days to fully kick in.
That's a long time to wait, Frank.
Oh!
Prilosec OTC is not for fast relief. It can take 1 to 4 days to fully work. Zantac 75 works fast, right when you need it, even at night when heartburn can be at its worst. Zantac, fast heartburn relief for people who hate to wait.
Oh!
Bob, you're snoring. Bob?
I'm Anthony Mason. On tonight's CBS Evening News, Dan Rather on the scene for the New Hampshire primary.
I didn't think we'd see you out here this year.
I had my docs. The pain got worse, so finally I went to see the doctor. He said I should get an MRI. He told me about Highfield Open MRI of Pittsburgh. They had the latest technology and the strongest open magnet.
Seems like you're feeling better now.
A doctor got the results he could trust and was able to prescribe the right treatment.
So I expect we'll be seeing a lot of you out here.
Thanks, Highfield.
Tilt and telescopic steering column. Flat folding front passenger seat. The all-new Chevy Malibu was designed to be perfect. For you, and you. Now lease an all-new 2004 Chevy Malibu sedan for around $219 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for important lease details. See your Chevy dealer for the best-selling cars and trucks in Pittsburgh for the last 5 years.
This is KDKA TV News at 4 with Patrice King Brown, Stacy Smith, and your AccuWeather forecast from Jeff Verzella.
Sometimes in cold weather like this, animals can be forgotten, but apparently not in Westmoreland County. Harold Hayes is live in Derry Township with a rescue story that's going to warm your heart.
Stacy, this is the story of how 11 ducks and 3 geese were saved from the icy St. Vincent Lake and the people who took it upon themselves to give them a new home. Take a look at this video we shot just within the hour. They were found around a frozen St. Vincent Lake, and it took the efforts of Sue Dell, her family, and friends to bring them to shelter. With the help of experts from the Amani Farm Animal Sanctuary, the ducks and geese were brought back to Sue Dell's garage. All 11 ducks and all 3 geese. And as you can see, they could put up quite a squabble. But now they'll have a new home. Amani Farm Animal Sanctuary is helping find people who'll take care of them. First, though, Sue and her friends had to test the iced-over lake to make sure it was safe.
The lake was frozen and people were playing ice hockey on the lake. So my kids and my son-in-law in particular went out, tested the ice, and then got one. And once we got one, then we went on a roll and got them all.
They can't fly, they can't fend for themselves or forage during the winter months. And as a result, many of them starve or freeze to death. And this is very inspirational that this family has taken this on and succeeded in this rescue effort.
Of course, often like these, animals like these are brought home as Easter pets and then end up like this. And the humane societies and humane agents say before you venture out to do something like this, make sure you touch base with them first. Reporting live from Westmoreland County, Harold Hayes, KDKA TV News.
All right, thanks, Harold. The weather's even having an impact on the Pittsburgh Zoo. The zoo is open every day of the year except Christmas and today. Because of the ice on the roads and the walkways there, the Pittsburgh Zoo decided to stay closed today. Pittsburgh residents who have garbage pickup today may find that their trash is still sitting at the curb. The city of Pittsburgh says if crews don't make it to your street today, leave the trash where it is. They'll get there tomorrow or sometime later this week.
Well, I guess it probably depends on where you are at this moment, whether you have nothing happening in your neighborhood or perhaps you have some sleet, rain, or snow coming down.
There's a lot to keep track of. Let's head over to Jeff Verzella and check out how it's looking tonight. Jeff?
All right, thanks very much. The good news is the precipitation, the activity, should be relatively light the rest of tonight into tomorrow morning, and it's going to be hit and miss, which is to say there'll be pockets of precipitation that develop and move through parts of the area the rest of this evening and through the overnight period. Right now on KDK Storm Tracker, dry in the city of Pittsburgh, but there are some pockets of frozen precipitation, some sleet and freezing rain perhaps south of I-70, primarily across parts of Fayette County, right around Uniontown, stretching on up toward Connellsville. So this evening, pockets of freezing precipitation, more than likely freezing drizzle and a little sleet. 27 for the wake up tomorrow morning. Really not much change. Temperature, though, will rise to 32. And we may actually see a period of just plain rain at some point tomorrow morning before everything starts to change back over to snow showers shortly after the lunch hour. That 34 at the midday tomorrow, that'll be our high, and then temperatures will back off into the 20s. Right now, we're at 26 degrees, cloudy skies at Pittsburgh International, and winds are coming out of the east at 9 miles an hour. We check some neighborhood temperatures. What you see is your high temperature so far today in Wexford, 26 degrees, 27 in Monroeville, also 27 in Upper St. Clair. And temperatures tonight will continue to rise slowly but surely, and most of us will be right around the freezing mark first thing tomorrow morning. The bigger picture shows snow showers. This is what's waiting in the wings for us tomorrow, occurring across parts of the upper Midwest, back in through the north central plains. Also snow occurring in through parts of the central and even through the eastern Great Lakes. And locally, again, there's not a lot happening, just some hit and miss activity, but as indicated by the pink coloration, that's that wintry mixture that we're going to continue to see in pockets the rest of tonight right through tomorrow morning before our next significant slug of moisture heads our way tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. and that'll be in the form of another storm system working its way up the Ohio Valley. Really what's going to happen here is there's going to be one here, and there's an area of low pressure that's going to form along the Carolina coast. All the energy here is eventually going to transfer out to the coast by first thing Wednesday morning, but it's going to have with it quite a swath of snow, and we're going to see again our fair share, I should say, of snow accumulating tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. Right now, AccuWeather's forecasting the possibility of 3 to 6 inches of additional snow. That's tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night, and 6 to 7 in the lower highlands. So the AccuWeather forecast tonight, overcast with pockets of freezing drizzle and sleet, hit and miss activity. 27 in evening low, and then temperatures will rise overnight. Tomorrow we'll hit a morning high, or midday high, I should say, of 34, and then temperatures fall with a little rain and freezing rain in the morning, changing over to snow in the afternoon, 2 to 3 inches by evening. Another 2 to 3 tomorrow night with periods of snow and a low of 21. And your AccuWeather 5-day forecast. Into Wednesday, a few snow showers maybe first thing, then improvement in the afternoon with little sunshine, 28. Thursday, mostly cloudy, but nothing coming from the skies, 32. Some snow showers Friday and 30, and 23 with some sunshine on Saturday. So it looks like for the rest of tonight, again, the activity just hit and miss. There'll be pockets here and there, but our next thing to focus on will be tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. That's our next round of significant accumulation of snow.
Seems like people have been listening because we haven't heard any major accidents yet, so I guess...
Correct. I think the rush hour tomorrow night at this time is probably going to be affected by the snow once again.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
Okay.
And they say misery loves company. Let's take a look in Washington, D.C., where they received several inches of snow and ice overnight. Also, take a look at the bottom of your screen. You're going to see some additional closings that we found out about tonight. In D.C., they've got treacherous driving conditions today. Like here, most schools in the D.C. area were closed. On top of the 8 inches of snow that fell this morning, forecasters are calling for sleet and freezing rain throughout the day. And then head further up Interstate 95. Several inches of snow fell there in Delaware as well. Plows and salt trucks were out in full force this morning, battling a storm that dumped about 8 inches of snow. And just like in D.C., officials expect the snow to turn into sleet and freezing rain tonight, making for another tough rush hour.
And the KDKA Snow and Ice team will have the latest weather conditions. We will continue our storm coverage and have the latest AccuWeather forecast on KDKA TV News at 5 and at 6.
How young is too young to be sentenced to death? The Supreme Court is ready to reconsider the issue. A young boy sentenced to life in prison for murder is now going free. We'll tell you what changed in the case. Plus, they're the women behind the men. Hear what the wives of the Democratic presidential candidates have to say about their husbands' campaigns and their own roles.
It's that time of year. Get ready for it. See your Pittsburgh area Suzuki dealer and get behind the wheel of a family-size XL7 with 0% APR and 0 down. The Suzuki XL7 SUV comes with lots of standard features, including 6-cylinder power, 4-wheel drive, 4-wheel disc brakes, and automatic climate control, plus America's #1 warranty. Drive the new XL7 today at your Pittsburgh area Suzuki dealer. Check out the all-new Verona. Make the smart move. Suzuki.
If you're over the age of 40 and experiencing sagging skin and jowls, you may qualify for a procedure that erases up to 10 years in 1 hour. The Quick Lift is fast becoming the most popular cosmetic procedure in America, and now it's available at the Skin Center in Pittsburgh. Results are immediate. In the time it takes to have lunch, you can have a more youthful look. Learn more about the Quick Lift. Call 1-800-321-LIFT. 1-800-321-LIFT. See if you qualify. 1-800-321-LIFT.
Honey, it's time.
It's time? Really? Now?
Time to get the new carpet.
When you're ready for new carpet, call Empire today.
You breathe, I'll call.
Shop at home and choose from a great selection. We install next day. Call right now and save 50%. Plus, no payments for a year.
Now that's an easy delivery.
800-588-2300 Empire. Today, call for next day window treatments, too.
When it comes to heart care, experience matters most. So guess which Pittsburgh area hospital has been performing open heart surgeries for almost 40 years and does more heart procedures in a single year than some hospitals do in 5. The Mercy Heart Institute. Mercy, a higher caring.
The folks at Dean Honda believe shopping for a new Honda should be enjoyable. So they've designed a very high-tech yet customer-friendly facility that showcases the exciting new Hondas. But even with all the changes, the Dean's commitment to bottom-line pricing and your complete satisfaction is still the same. Why settle for less? Buying or leasing at Wayne Sherman's Dean Honda is better than ever. Come see Dean Honda's spectacular new facility soon. Lebanon Church Road near Century 3 Mall.
The family of a Slippery Rock child is mourning his death tonight after a tragic accident at a popular sledding hill. It's a hill that, despite its fun reputation, has seen serious injuries in the past. KDPG Beaver Butler Bureau Chief Ross Guidotti is live on the campus of Slippery Rock University with more. Ross.
Christine, if you were at this hill on any other day with all these kids having the days off due to snow, this hill would be packed with kids sled riding on toboggans, on inner tubes, and snowboards. There's nobody here today because of the tragedy that took place. It was supposed to be a day of family fun. In fact, as I said, turned into a day of tragedy.
Oh, it's devastating. It's devastating to the family. It's devastating to this community.
Slippery Rock University spokesman Ross Phelps on the tragedy that took place on this hill. 12-year-old Blake Justice killed when the intertube he was riding on careened off course.
He went into a tree line on the side of the hill. Our university police called in Lifeflight, and he was life-flighted to Children's Hospital.
This hill has, according to locals, been the scene of many accidents over the years, but it's extremely popular when it comes to sled riding. However, no fatalities until this one. Today, the university shortened the hill by installing a plastic fence. But attempts at making this hill somewhat safer apparently have a poor record.
Different things at various times. We've tried to put up plastic fence along the side. That's been destroyed in 2 or 3 days right after we put it up. Some people have suggested putting up straw. We've tried that in some years, bales of hay or bales of straw. But in weather like we've had recently, with a lot of rain and sleet and then quick freezing, those bales of straw would turn into blocks of concrete.
All right, now the victim in this case did not have a helmet on at the time of the accident, according to authorities. And you really don't need a specialized helmet, a ski helmet. Orthopedic surgeons will tell you, and emergency room doctors will tell you something as simple as this, something you'll find in your garage that you'd make your kids wear when they got on their bike would suffice when it comes to sledding. It has an impact point on the back, an impact point on the front. It has good padding inside. It may not seem like much, but it could save a child's life, and the chances are you have one in the basement or garage. Reporting live in Butler County, Ross Guidotti, KDKA TV News.
A judge is letting 16-year-old Lionel Tate go free. Tate was the youngest person in the U.S. ever to be sentenced to life without parole, but an appeals court overturned his conviction and sentence. And today, the same Florida judge who imposed the life sentence ordered Tate to be released. The 16-year-old will have to wear an electric monitoring device. Tate agreed to accept a plea offer that will spare him any more prison time. He was convicted of killing a 6-year-old playmate. He said he was imitating a pro wrestling move and killed the girl by accident.
Well, should killers under the age of 18 be subject to the death penalty? The U.S. Supreme Court agreed today to reconsider the issue, and the answer could affect Pennsylvania. Katie Money and political editor John Delano, who is our resident attorney, joins us live now from the newsroom with more. John?
Well, Stacey, the United States is one of the few countries left where a juvenile can be executed for a capital crime. But not all juveniles. Only those who are 16 or 17 at the time of their crime are subject to capital punishment. That's because the Supreme Court ruled in 1988 that youngsters 15 and under, like Ian Bishop, who was 14 when he killed his brother, could not be executed for their crimes. Bishop ended up with a life sentence. Now the court will decide whether 16 and 17-year-olds should also be protected from the death penalty when they murder someone. Criminal defense attorney Paul Boaz says it's a no-brainer.
Any parent of an adolescent knows that the way their child reacts to a traumatic or emotionally charged situation is very much different than the way a fully matured adult would react to that same situation. It's about time that we put an end to the barbaric practice of executing kids for crimes that they commit with minds completely different than mature adult minds.
Now, 17 states prohibit the death penalty for juveniles, but Pennsylvania is not one of them, although no youngster has been executed in this state for over 25 years. The Supreme Court is likely to rule on whether it is cruel and unusual punishment and therefore prohibited by the Constitution sometime in the next year. Live from the newsroom, I'm John Delano.
In a KDKA News poll conducted by Survey USA, opinion was split. 48% said executing criminals under the age of 18 is not cruel and unusual punishment. 41% said they do consider such executions to be cruel.
The Martha Stewart trial is ready to move into its next phase. That story ahead. And ready for the big game on Sunday. The NFL is outraged that some advertisers seem to have found a way around paying their high ad fees. And one of them could become a member of the First Wives Club. The wives of the Democratic presidential candidates talk about their roles in the campaign.
Tilt and telescopic steering column. Flat folding front passenger seat. The all-new Chevy Malibu was designed to be perfect for you, and you. Now lease an all-new 2004 Chevy Malibu sedan for around $219 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for important lease details. See your Chevy dealer for the best-selling cars and trucks in Pittsburgh for the last 5 years.
Who's going to help clear the table?
That's okay. I'll clean up. Now apply the same idea to your pans.
Line them with Reynolds Wrap Heavy Duty Foil so you don't have to clean. Reynolds Wrap Heavy Duty Foil.
Seriously injured in an accident? Is an insurance company trying to convince you to make a quick settlement? Be careful. Lately, insurance companies have been pushing accident victims to settle their claims quickly and without a lawyer. Make sure you don't sign any papers, give any statements, or accept any checks from an insurance company until you call my law firm. Even if an insurance company has made you an offer, we'll tell you if it's fair or if we think you can do better. Call us now.
For a free consultation, call Edgar Snyder & Associates, 1-800-94-EDGAR.
422 Homes will sponsor the tri-state area's largest indoor display of homes at the Pittsburgh Expo Mart Indoor-Outdoor Home Show January 29th through February 1st. Come and see the newest designs and take advantage of the show specials with savings from $5,000 to $15,000. Take advantage of these show specials at all 422 Homes sales locations January 29th through February 1st. Planning a housing change this year? Then don't miss this sale. See you there.
422 Homes. Welcome home.
It's got style, it's got class, and more room than Camry. Pittsburgh area Suzuki dealers proudly introduce the all-new Verona S starting under $16,500 with premium features that would cost thousands more in a Camry or Accord. 6-cylinder power, automatic, 4-wheel disc brakes, steering wheel stereo controls. You owe it to yourself and your checkbook to see the new Verona at your nearby Suzuki dealer today. Check out the family-size XL7 SUV. Make the smart move. Suzuki.
What's on tonight is brought to you by Catrone Suzuki West, where all Suzukis will be sold under invoice while we're under construction. Suzuki West, located next to Chrysler Jeep West, Moon Township.
Now, KDKA TV News at 4.
8 women and 4 men are going to decide Martha Stewart's fate in the legal system. A jury has now been selected for her fraud trial. 6 alternates have also been selected. It took 4 days of one-by-one questioning last week to narrow down the jury pool. People who said they were fans of Stewart and some who saw her primetime TV interviews were allowed to stay if they assured the judge they could be fair. Opening statements will begin tomorrow.
An appeals court upheld the federal prison term of Farmore founder Michael Monis. Monis was convicted in 1995 of embezzling millions of dollars from the company, which then sent Farmore into bankruptcy. Today, an appeals court rejected his request for either a new trial or